Hello, my lovely dishes. It's Dawn Marie, your fashion mistress, taking the mystery out of fashion for those heart-centered entrepreneurs over 45 and then some. Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays, rebuilding from within. Now, as women, we do so many different things for so many people, right? We're moms, we're sisters, we're daughters, we're friends, we're cousins, we're lovers, we're wives, and the list goes on and on and on, right? There's not something that we don't do. We wear many hats, don't we? So we have to take care of ourselves because if we don't, then what's going to happen? We're going to break down like a car going clunk, 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 and that's the end of that. And then we can't help anyone, let alone ourselves. So today I want to talk about morning rituals. Now, I'm sure you may have heard a lot of different people talking about them, but do you realize how important they really are? Now, maybe you've started some and you can see why they're so important, but maybe there's some things that you're just not doing because you're just so fixed on getting out of the house and getting the kids off to school and getting to your job or whatever it might be. And you really don't get a chance to start your day the way it should be started. And if it means that you have to go to sleep a little bit earlier so that you can get up a little bit earlier, then I really need you to try to do this because you know what? You are going to find that you have more peace in your day and at night. So when you go to sleep and you put your head on that pillow, you can be like, wow, you know what? I had a pretty good day. It was crazy, but you were able to handle it. You didn't stress out as much and you can move forward, right? So the first thing I want you to do is really to start to think about starting your day in gratitude. Now you may think, blah, 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 who cares? This doesn't make any sense. But think about it. You can't be in a bad mood if you're feeling grateful for something, right? You can't be sad if you're feeling grateful for something because you can't mix the two. The brain doesn't work that way. So take a notebook, start writing down three things that you're grateful for in the morning. Take 5 minutes before everybody else wakes up in the house and take 5 minutes for yourself. Take your morning coffee or your green juice or whatever it is that you drink in the mornings and sit there with your pen and paper and write down three things. And if you can think of five, write down five. If you want to go to 10 and be adventurous, write 10 down. But when you start doing this every day, and of course, you're going to look for different things every day, right? Now, I get ecstatic when I see little things in life. I feel like they're little winks from God. They're little saying, hey, kiddo, you're on the right path. It may be as simple as like the other day, I saw this really cool cactus that I always see, but I didn't realize it flowered. And all of a sudden, it had these beautiful flowers coming out of it. And I'm like, holy crap, I didn't know you flowered. So I took a picture, I stopped and smelled the flower. Does it smell? Does it have a scent? Or when I'm walking on my walks around my house, I look at the birds and the ducks and anything that nature captures my eye. And I try to look for these things because you know what? They're triggers. I've created these triggers that are going to set my mood for the day. They're going to keep me motivated throughout the day because we all get banged up every day going through life because there's so much crap that we got to deal with. That's not always pleasant, traffic jams and people cursing you out at the store. They slam the door in your face and they don't say sorry or thank you when you hold it for 10 people that go through all these weird things to stay focused so that you can reach your goals that much quicker. Because, when we're in a good headspace, then we're going to want to do good things. And when we're feeling crappy, we're going to just want to sit there and watch Netflix and binge out. So, in order to keep going, right, to stay healthy, gratitude is a great place to start. Step number two, I want you to just drink a nice warm cup of lemon water. Okay. It's going to help your body reset for the day. It's going to help some of the toxins that are sitting there. And it's a great way. You can still have your morning coffee. I'm not saying that, but it's a nice way. Oh, and if you also want to do it in the evening, it's also nice to do it before bedtime. You take your kettle, you heat up the water, or if you don't have a kettle, you can, heat up your water in the microwave. I don't suggest it. I prefer you do it naturally, whether it's on the stove or in a coffee pot or whatever to get that hot water. And then squeeze some fresh lemons, maybe half of a lemon, and then just get your gratitude journal out and sit there and write those things. But the warm water is going to help the body like wake up and start to move. It's like the Tin Man after he's sitting in the rain and he gets, you know, stalled out because he's all stiff and he's got to get the oil can out and start going, right? So that you can move your body because your body's got to move you from place to place. And step number three is just to do like 5 minutes of some simple stretches. I'm not saying you got to go into this whole big calisthenics yoga thing, but to just stretch. Maybe it's just you reaching your toes, or you're stretching your arms up to the sky, or you just doing arm circles, or you do a few squats. But do something that's going to get the body going and the blood flowing, because we need blood in our brains to keep us going. And so one of the ways to do that is to exercise. So if you're not exercising, this can maybe start you on an exercise journey to help you get healthier and make you feel better every time. Because, I dreaded working out, but once I started working out, now I can't live without it. It's just one of those things. It's my time for myself to think, to plan. Believe it or not, I'm planning things as I'm working out. Sometimes ideas come up to me and I have to stop and go write them down because I'm like, oh my God, don't forget that. But you'll see that these little things, maybe it's just taking a walk around your block in the morning. If you don't want to do stretches or stuff like that, maybe just take a little walk. And it's nice to do it before everybody gets up. I find that morning times are really precious, and I love watching my sunrises every day. And I like listening to hearing the birds chirp, because you know what? Those things can help me set the tone for the day. So they're going to help you set your tone instead of just like, oh my God, the alarms go off and everybody's screaming and yelling and, going crazy around the house. This can help you reel it in so that when they do start going crazy, you don't have to follow them. You can be like, okay, you guys need to do this, this, and this, and now go do it. And then reconvene and, do your thing. Step number four, I want you to visualize your day. There is such a thing as visualizing, okay? And if you don't believe it, try it out. You'll see it starts to really work. Sometimes when I'm driving and I know I'm going to have trouble parking, and I always say, I know God's going to help me find a spot. He's going to help me find a good spot. And sure enough, it's like 9 out of 10 times I'll get to the place and somebody just pulled out, or there's just one spot in a whole filled parking lot that's sitting there. And I feel like God again is saying, okay, girl, this one's for you. But if you visualize seeing it, it can make it happen because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a truth and a lie. So if you say, I'm going to find a spot right in the front, or I'm going to find a spot real close by and then the block away, or whatever the case may be, or I'm going to find that dress that I've been looking for, and thinking about. And that's another thing that would happen sometimes. I would say, I want to go get a vest that's red, black, and white. It's not easy to find a vest that's red, black, and white, but I'll go into a store and I'll start searching for things. And all of a sudden, I'll come close to something that looks like the red, black, and white. And I'm like, oh, look at that. So this can work in so many different ways. If you want to meet your man, if you're looking to find the perfect house, if you're looking to find your perfect job, but you have to visualize because, like I said, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a truth and a lie. So you might as well feed it something and let it start believing it's true, even if it's a lie at first, you know? So visualize your day and maybe think about one key intention that you have for that day. So maybe it is to keep your peace for the day or to not curse for the day, which is always on my list. But coming from New York City, I've got a bit of a trucker's mouth. And I try not to because I'm a Christian and I don't really like cursing, but sometimes it just fits the bill. And step number five is listen to positive messages, whether you're getting cassettes out, not a cassette, but DVD, CD from the library. I like using the Hoopla digital system from the libraries, the public libraries, also Overdrive and Libby. So you can download all your free books. I think you could take up to 12, 14 books a month or something like that. And use your automobile as your university on wheels, as Brian Tracy used to say, and I've been doing that for years before I even knew he was saying that, because it was just one of those things where I'm like, I hate killing time. Time is really precious and you can't get it back, right? It's a commodity you cannot get back. No matter how hard you try, it's not coming back. So once you use it, you lose it. So don't lose it. Keep control of it. But podcast is a great way. Maybe one of these podcasts or one of my other podcasts. I do have two others, Life's Necessities and Luxuries and The Little Drummer Girl, because I am a drummer and I do interview artists and musicians and things like that. So if you want to hear some interviews on some fun musicians and artists, go check that out. It's LIL Drummer Girl. It's where all your podcasts are. But listening to positive messages can help you frame your day. Okay. Also, you may be learning something new. So let's say you're looking to, like for instance, when I was working in the music business for a long time and I wanted to get out of it, it was just feeling like I was taken for granted, working crazy 80 hours and not feeling like I was doing and giving anything back. I started doing some more fundraiser activities. And then I started to think, oh, it'd be fun to do more event planning and stuff like that. But I didn't have the experience. And back in the day, we didn't have the internet there. So I would go to libraries and, pull out books on entertaining and how to create meetings and planning and this and that, because it was more for corporate world, not just for myself personally, but more to get a job doing corporate event planning. So I started to do it that way. And I also started volunteering with different organizations and helping them put on their events so that I was around it all the time. And when you start to learn these things, they can help you move into the direction that you may be looking to go, or it may put you in the whole new direction that you didn't plan on going and really like it and enjoy it. So when you listen to these uplifting podcasts, they may keep you motivated to keep setting those goals, to keep reaching them. So, hello, Dish It with Dawn. Don't stop listening. Hit subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future episodes and what have you. And if you haven't already joined us over at the Facebook group, please come on by at facebook.com/groups/, Dish It with Dawn. And remember to dish it out well and dish it out good, but make sure you're looking damn good when you do. Until I see you tomorrow. Ciao for now.